For some reason, a Blender channel decided to try and shit on Battlefield 2042, and to say the very least, their attempt was so piss poor to the point they have now unlisted the video, thanks to the fact the video was full of factually incorrect information, which makes me very excited to get in today's video, so without further delay, I'll let the video play.
In the last couple of weeks, there has been a lot of hype for Battlefield 2042, and it seems like everyone has forgotten the problems with the Battlefield franchise.
Why is this dude whispering? Is he scared his mom's gonna walk in on him and see his pure degeneracy in action? Like, my guy, just speak up and speak like a normal person would. It's not hard to do, and it'll make your videos a hell of a lot less painful to sit through. Also, nobody has forgotten the problems the franchise has had. In fact, that's why people are so hyped, because they aren't seeing the problems they saw with Battlefield 5.
So in this video, I'll go through my main problems with Battlefield as a former Battlefield fan, and why I stopped buying Battlefield games after Battlefield 1. And don't worry, Blender users, I'll post more Blender videos very soon. Now, the first problem is of course hacking, as you can see in this recording. I actually recorded this yesterday. Hackers are now so common in Battlefield that I would say that the game is completely unplayable.
I've personally never ran into any hackers whilst playing Battlefield 5 or 4, but either way, no shit, the Battlefield games which are no longer receiving full support from DICE and EA will have problems with hackers. It's almost like the developer has moved on to a new project called Battlefield 2042. And why is he acting like not buying Battlefield games after Battlefield 1 is a big deal? There's only been one game in the franchise after that, and it was Battlefield 5, so no shit you didn't buy it.
And this has been a problem since the launch of Battlefield 1, for example, and this was 5 years ago, and we still have the problem, as you can see.
Ah yes, because one match you had with a hacker single-handedly proves that every Battlefield game is full of hackers to the point it's quote-unquote unplayable. That makes so much sense.
And of course, if you're not playing on a PC and you want to play on a console, it is going to be very expensive to get the latest console for this game.
Well, number one, you don't need to play the game on a next-gen console. It's going to be available on the PS4 and Xbox One systems. And number two, this is not a criticism of the game or an issue with it, but rather an issue of scalping in general when it comes to console sales. In no way, shape or form do you have to have the latest console to play the game.
As you can see, PS5 now goes for around $850. And of course, if you use PS4 for this game, you will only be able to play with 64 players instead of 128 players.
Oh no! Anyway, last week...
How would these poor PS4 and Xbox One players be able to survive in matches the size of a normal Battlefield game? Oh, the horror. How could EA do such a thing? How dare they offer the game in the best possible way for last-gen systems?
And when it comes to the game itself, you have to expect to pay a lot of extra money for different kinds of DLCs. As you can see, there's already a Gold Edition and an Ultimate Edition, which means that they have a lot of DLCs lined up for you to spend some extra money. So be prepared to spend at least $100 on this game in the long term.
Imagine uploading a video where you get stuff factually incorrect because you failed to read the descriptions of standard gold and ultimate editions of Battlefield 2042, causing you to spread outright false information. I genuinely have no idea how you could possibly do that, but somehow this guy did. There will be no DLCs for Battlefield 2042, and instead they will offer battle passes as an alternative to cancerous shit like season passes. And it's very clear you haven't done any research on the topic, because Game Informer got a quote from EA reiterating this statement.
Another reason for why I ditched the franchise was of course the constant changing of world history in the name of equality and filling certain quotas in the game. A great example of this is a mission based in my country, Norway, called Nordis in Battlefield 5. This was obviously a mission based on a real sabotage mission in 1943, completed by these men to stop the German development of nuclear bombs. Resistance fighters like this risked their lives and often lost their lives for these missions, and then EA decides to remove them from the story and replace them with these fictional girls.
I sped that shit up because it's completely irrelevant to Battlefield 2042 since it's set in the future and there is no campaign for them to change history in. I genuinely have to wonder how brain dead someone has to be to not realize a game is set in the future when it's literally in the fucking name of Battlefield 2042. Like, did this guy think 2042 was just a random set of numbers they chose to put in the name?
Not only was this incredibly disrespectful to the men who completed this mission, but there was also no point of doing this considering that the Eastern Front had a lot of female heroes on the Soviet side. And you can just imagine the outrage and the accusations of sexism if these females were portrayed by male characters or male actors in a game or a movie. And in that case, they would be right to be outraged about this, just like Battlefield players were outraged about the historical inaccuracies in Battlefield 5.
And the developers just responded by calling the players uneducated and sexist.
And the dickhead who said that bullshit got totally not fired from the company soon afterwards because he was one of the key reasons as to why Battlefield 5 flopped as hard as it did. So what exactly is your point here? Because this is all stuff in the past which for the most part is completely irrelevant to Battlefield 2042 and current EA for that matter.
And in my opinion, all this negative PR caused this game to sell a lot less than the previous game.
Well, no shit, Sherlock. Now I am going to skip a bit of his video where he continues on his rant about Battlefield 5, since it's almost entirely pointless and has almost nothing to do with Battlefield 2042.
Reason why I will not buy this game, and you probably shouldn't, is that they published a lot of unfinished games.
I think you're confusing the phrase do not pre-order and do not buy. Telling people to never buy the game over the potential for it to launch unfinished is a bit of an overreaction if you ask me, but hey, the majority of his video has been full of uninformed overreactions.
The games have too many hackers that they do not ban.
Once again, you're referring to old Battlefield games that EA and DICE do not fully support anymore, and not Battlefield 2042. At this point, the only reason why this guy has put Battlefield 2042 in the title is for rage bait clicks, because barely any of this pathetic video has been about the actual game in the goddamn title.
The game is too expensive with all the DLCs.
Considering how this guy's claimed to be a quote-unquote veteran Battlefield fan, which is an extremely cringy thing to hear, I find it strange that he's never had a problem with the DLCs until Battlefield 2042, and it's ironic as fuck because that's the one game which won't have traditional DLCs.
They lack respect for history, and they despise their customers for not embracing their social activism.
People on the internet never fail to amaze me when it comes to their idiocy. Get out of 2018 and come back to 2021, my guy.
And as I finished this video, it is up to you whether or not you want to buy this game. So have a nice day and thanks for watching.
Well, I am now more than ever tempted to buy Battlefield 2042, but thankfully we've come to the end of that misinformed pile of trash, so with all that being said, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and please don't forget to do all the things YouTubers love to bait you to do, aka check out my Discord, Twitter, as well as like, comment and subscribe, so I'll see you all in the next video.